Greetings. 2/3 of my life was spent in an organisation known as Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower. In my early 20s, I was writing poetry about Jesus. It wasn't part of any religion. And was in discussion with what's called Jesus freaks, the hippie crowd. And one of my ex-housemates I used to share a house with became a JW, and took me to the Kingdom Hall. It was a Sunday. He knocked on my door, and I saw the change in his appearance. No long hair. The last time I saw him, he had an Afghan coat on. Remember the Afghan coats? Had long hair. And this time he was short hair. He said, "Do you want to come to a Bible meeting now, to this Kingdom Hall? Because I've had a study with him since I've seen you 6 months ago." And I said, "All right, mate, let's go for a beer first." As you do. So I walked into this Kingdom Hall. Just turned 20 odd. And long hair I had, and remember bell-bottom jeans? Typical hippie. And everybody was sort of looking at me, and I got love-bombed. Remember all the chicks in the Kingdom Hall sort of looking at me, different meat on the scene, And I thought, something interesting going on here. Either these people are after your money, I thought, that was my first thought, or they are a special kind of true religion. So my mate said to me, "Look, you need to ask for a Bible study, like I've had." So after the meeting, I sort of sussed out the guys there, and this sort of guy looked sincere to me. His name was Ray. I said, "Mate, can I have a Bible study?" And he sort of went, "Yeah, right, okay, man." Doesn't happen very often, does it, when you walk into a Kingdom Hall in your first meeting and ask for a Bible study? I mean, Jehovah's Witnesses knock on doors for hours and hours and hours trying to achieve that. Mostly empty doors. It's the highlight of their life when they get a Bible study. Much easier to sit with somebody in the home with a cup of coffee or whatever than knock on doors in the rain. But I was reflecting today, what really attracted me to Jehovah's Witnesses, apart from the love bombing I got at the first meeting. Well, it's funny, I did go to attend this Bible study, but as I approached the street, I turned back and went back home. Interesting. So my friend got hold of me. He heard I didn't attend the arranged Bible study. He said, "Well, why didn't you go? Why didn't you go?" So it's a big commitment. But just to please him, I did go the next time. And that's when the entrapment started. I must admit, the guy I studied with, his name was Ray as well, coincidentally. 2 rays of light come into my life, if you like. The guy I lived with was a hippie, and now this JW, who was going to study with me. He was a nice guy. And remember, he used to have lots of Bible translations, and he encouraged me to use different translations. And of course I went along to meetings then regularly, and the love bombing continued. And the one main thing that attracted me was this: the uniformity. That every 2 weeks you get your magazines regularly. The people were always friendly. I was invited out socially. Ooh, big time. I wonder sometimes, looking back, not boasting or anything, that some of the people were trying to match me up with their daughters. I heard later on that when I did get married to a JW 30 miles away, who died 3 years ago, the chicks in the congregation I used to attend before I married were quite heartbroken when I left. But anyway, you see, my son said to me when I resigned 3 years ago, he said, Dad, don't resign, just sit quietly at the back of the hall. I thought, all right then, I'll come to the meeting tomorrow then. But I didn't go. As Raymond France's books echoed in my mind, you know, the two books Ray France wrote, the former governing body member. If you go against your conscience, what are you? You're a tool of man. But the attraction was, as I say, the uniformity, the assemblies, everybody sang from the hymn sheet if you like, the talks, the association. But thinking today, what difference is that than, for example, going to, shall we say, a bingo hall? Of course the Bible is involved, but then again other religions have that camaraderie and use the Bible. Bingo club. You see, when I was a young boy in Wales, I used to visit my grandparents. The highlight of their lives, because my grandmother was married to a miner, and her sister was married to a miner, my aunt. The highlight of their lives was when their men had finished work down the mines, down the pit, they'd go to the local club and play bingo. Not to win money, really. Well, that was a bonus, if you like. It was the camaraderie and the hype, the excitement. I remember my gran saying to me, she was Welsh, "Oh, Alan, that's my real pronunciation, not Alan. Alan, I nearly had a sweat on last night," she said. "I nearly had a sweat on. I just needed one more number." Bless them. They're all asleep in the grave now. I'm looking forward to seeing them in paradise on earth in the future, Father willing. But it's no different, really, than going to a club. It's only when you break away from something, a relationship that's damaging you, that you see it in real perspective. See, one thing I find really, really criminal about the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses is this. Up until the year 1986, I think it was, if you just resigned like I did, you could still associate with your family and friends. And after they kicked Ray Franz out, the glove, the iron fist, got tighter. And anybody that resigned from that day onwards was classified in the same way as someone who had been disfellowshipped for, say, adultery or whatever. Now, when you leave, resign or whatever, this is the announcement, and the only announcement that's made in the Kingdom Hall. So-and-so is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Now that creates a lot of speculation, doesn't it? Gossip. Ooh, I wonder what that person has been doing then. You know how the human mind, the flesh, works. If they were decent people, they would say, so-and-so has resigned from being a Jehovah's Witness. It kills speculation? No. It just creates gossip. So when you break it down, really, and realize that every prophecy the governing body have promulgated has failed, you start to realize you were in a club. You were in a club. Since leaving the Watchtower 3 years ago, I've been 24/7 in Bible study, prayer. Don't watch TV. I watch so much stuff, Bible videos, things like that, see other people's viewpoints. And I appeal to you, Jehovah's Witnesses, to break free and connect personally with the Holy Spirit through the one mediator, Messiah, now glorified man. Those 7 men in New York are not your mediator. They are in fact stealing your future salvation. Get out of her, my people. That includes all of Satan's whorish systems. And stop being part of a club that soon will be disbanded and smashed. Those luxury buildings in New York will be smashed to pieces in the same way as the Father smashed to pieces the temple which had gone into idolatry. On 2 occasions he did that. You know that, Jehovah's Witnesses. And the greatest respect and love for your zeal, your sincerity. But you must break away from these 7 sheep stealers. You are being scammed. Stop playing bingo. Be blessed. Shalom.